If we write to 70, we'll get it wrong.
If they said specifically rounding 3 6, yes, you would want the 70.0.
If it's a question where they don't necessarily state to put 3 significant figures, but I get an answer like 105.4 exactly, would it still be allowed for me to put 3 significant figures?
Exact answer is always great. Full calculator is always great. It's if you choose to round. I keep trying to tell you guys this all. Please just round. I know it's easier to not write the extra numbers, but if you choose to round, it has to be to 3 significant. They won't take any other rounded answer.
Okay.
Any other answer though is always great. They don't expect the rounding. It's an if.
So there's no like rule at the beginning of the test where it says every answer must be rounded to 3 significant.
No, and the only time I've seen it, occasionally on literally question 1 of the exam, they'll give you just some numbers and say, please round the following, and they won't even say 3. It'll be like, please round to 5 sig figs. Please round it just to test round it. That's not an every year thing, but I've seen it as question number 1 a few times. But outside of that, no, it'll just assume that you are aware that if you're rounding, it won't even say in the directions. I don't think it doesn't say round to 3 sig figs.
Does it say like?
Yeah, I don't think this one does. It's been a while since I've looked at the directions, but because I obviously don't read it with you guys since I'm nowhere near the room.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it doesn't even tell you that. That's just the thing you're supposed to know. Alright, that's sequences. Yay!
I got 3 I mean 3 5.
Oh, yeah, we rounded to 3 sig figs. So let's do series. If we get through series, I'll give you some time to practice. We'll go from there. Okay. What's the difference? That's geometric.
Yeah,
series.
I can see that.
What is a arithmetic series?
Your mom is so awesome.
My mom is not a geometrician.
No, my mom just texted me, by your school, do you want to leave early?
Say yes, I'll get your homework.
I'll say wait a couple minutes till after series.
Oh, there you go.
Wait, like,
Probably just go.
just go.
Alright, so the difference. Instead of listing a bunch of numbers out, what am I doing with them? Very nice. So the numbers will still look just like the arithmetic sequence did. The numbers themselves will still follow a pattern where they either go up or down by the same amount. So if we took the plus signs out, this would still be an arithmetic sequence. The difference is in the series, we're actually adding the numbers together. So again, you can still identify the pattern in the numbers the same way. We know that this is arithmetic because the numbers go up by 2 every time. But the series is going to ask us to add them all together. Again, you just get a formula for this stuff, and you're given the formula in notes. Should I even ask? Because it seems like we're unaware, but I'll give you the shot. Anyone got the formula for the series?
I did it.
I'm going to write it as this. I'll show you the other way to write it too. Sadly, no. Remember, we're adding them. So instead of this number being 10, this number would be 12, 20, 30.
First term.
So it can't be the same.
Is it first term?
First term is in there?
Times.
Nope. I'll give you that one. We got first term. Plus, good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's up parentheses.
Oh.
I don't know how to make my parentheses less C-like. They're all going to be like C's.
D.
No D's, go fish.
R. K.
No R's, go fish, no K's. There's an N. Put it in the fractions for you.
One.
Oh, no, it was like n over 2.
You got one more thing left to fill in. We're getting so close. The man would not be hanged yet at all.
U
Not one, sadly.
plus,
Stop saying one.
There are letters in it. There's 2 letters in it.
is it UN?
UN! We have a winner, alright. So, again, I can explain where the formula comes from. I don't really care. You get the formula booklet. They give you a second formula in the formula booklet. It is the exact same as this formula. The difference is they take UN out and they replace it with the formula we just did for UN. So they do U1 again plus n minus 1 times D. I think they actually even combine the 2 U1s together.
That's the one I remember from
Yeah,
last
so
year.
it's both.
Mhm.
Where? Tell me where. S of n.
Where's that?
The sum of the first, whatever n happens to be, so the sum of the first 20 or 30 or 40 terms. If you're given all the information, this formula is obviously much easier. Okay, you don't have to do as much work. So if you're given, let's count the variables, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're given 3 of those 4 variables, this is the better formula to use. If you're given less information, like for example, you are not giving UN, then this formula will be easier to use. But again, all that would happen, you would have to plug in to get this one.
Why does it don't say UN plus U1 plus U1?
Because that's what it is. I think they actually abbreviated again in the formula booklet as 2U1.
So I was switching those.
No, there were actually 2 U1s there. So again, use the one that's easier for you, depending on the problem. You can only use one formula forever, you'd be fine. It's not like you have to switch back and forth, but sometimes one is easier than the other one. The other one that I don't know if you guys are as familiar with, how much did you do the big capital E's last year?
Wait,
Okay, awesome. That's like my life.
which E?
Summations.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the other way to write this. So I just want to make sure you're familiar with the terminology. This is how your calculator will do these for you. Obviously, we don't have the calculators today, so we'll practice with those when we get back. The calculators will do the summation work for you.
Wow.
So if this is on day 2, a lot of this stuff can be solved for you as long as you're comfortable using the sigmas. These are capital sigmas. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to write this formula out. What is the first term of this formula? What's the first term? 2. Good job. And then what's the
I should go put my numbers.
2 and minus 1. Okay? And if we wanted to add all of these numbers together, we just have to figure out now how to write a formula that would make us add these numbers together. What's the first number? This is u sub what?
1.
U sub 1. So the first number I want to plug in for n is 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the bottom of the sigma tells you. The bottom of the sigma is always going to tell you where you would like to start. I will tell you 99% of the time you're going to want to start with the first term. Obviously, if the problem said, what is the sum of the 5th through 100th terms, well then you would want to start with the 5th term. But for the most part, you're going to be starting with the first term. On top of the sigma is going to tell you where you want to end. How many terms do we have up here? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I type this in the calculator, it will give me the sum of these 5 numbers right here. Okay? So you're going to get a chance to practice with this sum today. Obviously, this works when there's way more numbers. For these 5 numbers, I would hope you just add them together. I didn't hear it through the yawn. This is not a formula. This is the way you're going to type it in the calculator if you want to use the calculator to solve these instead of doing it by hand.
Is there also like a sum of infinity or something?
We are not near, well, I say we're not near there. We're like 2 days away from there. But not with the arithmetic ones. Those are only going to be with our geometric ones, which we haven't talked about yet. But there is a way to add an infinite number of geometric.
Are we
terms.
doing geometric today?
I was not planning that.
Okay.
I figured this is enough for 1 day of stuff. And because we didn't have a quiz, you'll actually probably finish the homework in class. And over Thanksgiving, your only homework will be
Nothing.
Nothing! Hooray! Which is still due the Sunday of Thanksgiving that you guys voted on. So not this Sunday, but next Sunday. No, the research part.
Thank goodness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just the research
Oh,
part.
so did you like?
No
Okay.
math.
I think you responded.
I did.
Oh, I love it. I think you're gonna have to leave
I don't know.
Spotify on for a long time just to get data.
Perfect.
Working
Did I-
on
Did I
homework.
say Y's in your throat?